Hello, and welcome back to another chapter of Watch Out for the Lucky. Chapter 3. The inside of the lobby of the Hero Tower is opulent. Grian notes. Just stepping past the threshold of the tall arched doors, he sees the bright purple, gold, and white accents on everything. The plush chairs on either side are arranged around a table. One might exchange pleasantries around coffee with friends. The floor beneath his feet was a roll of royal purple carpet that stretched from the doors to the main desk, that had a single woman sitting behind her computer. Above her was the logo of the Hero Association, a simplistic, wide-open eye with gold eyelashes with a purple iris. It was supposed to represent how the heroes watch over the city to keep everyone safe, but Green just thought it was creepy. He couldn't quite put a finger on why, but it certainly sent a shiver up his spine. Walking past the chairs and tables, he walked up to the receptionist behind the also pure white computer. She was sitting chewing gum while seemingly playing some game on her computer screen. In the reflecting of her glasses, Green could see some game that was very blocky. He didn't know very much about games, but he was pretty sure you weren't supposed to play them on the clock. He cleared his throat, trying to get her attention, but all she did was roll her eyes. Green looked around confused, not knowing how to react to that. With a sigh, she finally spoke up. "You here for the hero tryout?" she asked. Yeah. "Do you need anything, or?" he asked back, still confused. "Yeah, you got the invite we sent you." She held out her hand, still looking at her screen. "Yes, here." Green shifted nervously as after handing his golden invitation to her. He was prepared for fighting and showing off his crime-fighting skills, not for talking to people. Without even taking a glance at the given letter, she stamped it harshly before handing it back to Green, who fumbled to grab it. "Down the hall to the left. Can't miss the line. The audition starts from this moment on. Anything could happen. Assume everything is part of a test. 'Cause it is. Have a good day. Remember, eyes in the skies. Keep everyone safe," she said lazily, waving to the left, quickly going back to her game. Stuffing the letter back in his pocket, he swiftly walked down the leftmost hall. It didn't take him very long to find the line the woman was talking about. There had to be about 50 people here. It was a wide range of people. Some looked as if they'd been training for this moment their whole lives. Tight shirts that showed off muscles and toned stomachs. Some were hybrids like Grian. There was a timid-looking fawn hybrid girl, who had flowers and vines weaved through her hair. Next to her was actually a vigilante Grian had met before. He was a glare hybrid. Probably just as rare as Grian, if he's honest. Also in line, there were several vigilantes he's come to know, albeit begrudgingly, throughout his time on the streets. Not just the glare hybrid, but also the sleeper duo, as Green calls them. He had once saved their asses from a burning building that they had willingly ran into. Granted, it was because they were trying to save civilians, but still. The sleeper duo was a two-person team where both of them had complementing powers. One of them had the ability to hypnotize anyone who looked at his eyes. Powerful in its own right, but with his partner, it was almost infallible. They had the ability to slow down anyone just by being close to them. Green couldn't determine the radius on their power, but he really didn't want to find out either. Best to just stay away from that one when in battle. Green had watched the duo multiple times slow someone down, get the target to look them in the eyes, and then they suddenly fall asleep. Before Green knew either of their powers, he had assumed that one of them had the ability to knock someone out, which is where the sleeper duo name came from. Most vigilantes choose to not have names. There's definitely a few that did, but it usually just made it harder to live a normal life outside of the nighttime activity. Plus, police records were a bitch to deal with. After learning of their true nature, he gave them a wide berth. There's no telling what someone with that level of hypnosis could also do. But that didn't seem to stop one of them from taking a liking to Green after the rescue. The one that Green knew had the hypnosis power was waiting wildly at him, trying to get his attention. Usually Green would ignore him just like every other day. Every other time the two had happened to run into each other on their nightly patrols. But the words of the receptionist rang through his head. The test had already begun, and the heroes were personable and kind. He'd have to put up a good act to get through this day. Throwing up a plastic smile, Green waved back, walking past the last few people in line to stand with the sleeper duo and the fawn hybrid. They both wore what Green recognized as their vigilante gear. The one with hypnosis, Green really didn't make up real names for them, was the taller of the two. He had medium brown short hair covered by a black baseball cap, a black vest with orange and yellow accents set over his chest tightly. Under that was a long-sleeved flannel tucked into black cargo pants. Both the vest and pants pockets seemed to be filled with an abundance of random objects. Green didn't know if all of them were even useful to fighting, or if they were truly just random things. In opposition was his partner, who had a pair of black jeans with a blue and black hoodie on. Green had seen him have his hood up sometimes, and he supposed that was the one in the duo that needed more stuff compared to his more personal powered friend. He was the shorter of the two as well, with dark chocolate brown hair and a scruffy looking beard. Hello. Fancy seeing you two here. Didn't know you wanted to become heroes. Green smiled, leaning his back against the wall, bringing his leg up to complete his cool guy look. The hypnosis guy lit up like a Christmas tree, jumping up and down, clapping his hands together. His glasses stayed firmly in place. "Oh, you actually came over, Betty!" He paused, looking excitedly at his partner. "We actually weren't expecting an invitation. We thought it might have been a setup to arrest us." He shrugged. Green was starting to get the idea that this guy was very expressive. In comparison, his partner had yet to say a word or even stop shifting nervously. Still bouncing, the vested man kept speaking in an accented voice. "But surprisingly, they didn't. And we would rather be doing what we're doing legally than illegally. Kinda defeats the purpose, no? Us breaking the law when we're trying to enforce it. No. That wouldn't be right. So here we are. We're gonna be heroes. Right, XP?" He asked his partner, who still stood at the use of his name. "Don't say my name, idiot. They aren't supposed to know that." He spoke, eyeing up Green and the fawn, who had yet to say anything at all. Green looked her over. She just nervously waved slowly, still staying quiet. Looking back to the sleeper duo, who were now bickering, Green decided to say something he truly did not believe. "Well, I mean, XP, right? When we all work together as heroes, it won't matter, right? We'll be friends and all that." Green turned up his smile. Hypnosis Man, brightly nodding his head. The Hypnosis Man brightened, nodding his head swiftly while bouncing on his toes. XP, though, reared his head back, looking confused. He looked Green up and down, tilting his head either way as if he was solving a puzzle. Green just continued to exude calmness and confidence, hoping that whatever XP was trying to piece together, he wouldn't. Luckily, XP shook his head, then glanced back down at his shoes, shoving his hands in his pockets and shrugging his shoulders. I don't know, man. You seem awfully confident about that. We don't even know your name, and you literally saved us once? Why the sudden turnaround? XB asked. Before Green could even start to think of a way out of that question, a loud voice started speaking from the front of the line. Excuse me? Hello! Welcome to the official Hero Association edition. The man started walking his way down the line, making sure everyone could hear him as he continued speaking. You may recognize me as the hero Starvoid. I'm the facilitator of all official auditions, sidekicks, and otherwise. Starvoid. Green had never had the misfortune of ever running into him, luckily, but that man carried an aura. He was shrouded in dark green plated armor from head to toe. His mask resembled that of a motorcycle helmet, except the visor was chroma purple and completely impossible to see his face through. Nobody had ever seen Starvoid's face, nor had they ever damaged the helmet. There were plenty of theories as to why he always wore the suit. Many thought it was just protection, as he had been the hero for quite a long time, that maybe he was just paranoid. Others thought that maybe he was a hybrid that required extra support of a hardened shell around him, like a slime hybrid, or maybe a zombie. Green thinks it's for the energy it carries. The man is known for his amazing redstone abilities, which is to say, he lacks a real superpower, much like Green. Unlike Green, Starvoid can create redstone contraptions on the fly like no other. Tiny, on-the-spot contraptions that can range anywhere from an explosive trap or the means of escape for himself and allies. Whether offense or defense, he has a redstone piece for it that nobody has ever been able to wrap their heads around. Green shuffles a bit closer to the wall as the tall man walks right by him. How this will work is you will go into the room one by one, or if you have a group, you will go together. You will be in front of a panel of heroes. You will state your name. It doesn't matter what name you give them, but please give them something. You will show them your powers if you have one. If you don't, then just tell them why you are interested and send an invitation. After that, you will be sent into another room surrounded by one-ray glass. This is where you will be given a challenge to complete. It is not about the success, but how to go about the situation. All the scenarios are different, and not all of them are about fighting. If you have any questions, please ask me now. Otherwise, we will be getting started. He finished his speech, stopping back at the front of the line next to the plain white door he originally came out of. Nobody raised their hand, which Green was very relieved of. He really just wanted to get this all over with already. Nodding his head, Starvoid opened the door, holding it open for the first person in line. After they walked through, the door shut behind them, leaving everyone in line deathly quiet, staring at the closed door. Green sighed, looking up and down the line, realizing that he was towards the end. This is going to be a long day. And that is the end of Chapter 3.